So all the new iPhone 12 models are now out. However, a few wanted features are wanted for the next iPhone, like the iPhone 13 bigger battery upgrade and answering the question if we will get 120Hz at last on the display. Well, I have some good news and some early information on this and details of what we think the iPhone 13 release date and price also might be. So if you want to hear the latest gaming news, tech news, reviews and comparisons, hit that subscribe button followed by the bell. We now have the ability to buy all the latest iPhone 12 models. Prior to this though, we had loads of leaks and coverage about the 4 iPhone 12 models, including the colours and camera setups and big questions about 5G and also the possibility of 120Hz on the iPhone 12. Now, I've heard many of you are saying that you've been watching the reviews and the iPhone 12 might not be worth the upgrade if the iPhone 12 models don't have 120Hz refresh rate or even a better battery life than some of the iPhone 11 models. So for those disappointed fans, we have faith in the iPhone 12 successor, the iPhone 13 or the iPhone 2021, and all the details we know so far, including about the iPhone 13 design, specs, the iPhone 13 release date and price predictions. So just quickly then, this channel has just hit over 90,000 subscribers, what I'm over the moon about. So I've decided to do a giveaway, and one lucky subscriber when we get over 100,000 subscribers will get their hands on this. It is an iPhone 12 Pro in Pacific Blue. So when we get over 100,000 subscribers, I'm going to be giving this away to one lucky subscriber. So make sure you're a subscriber and hit that bell notification to get some more details. And I'm also going to give you a few more details how you can enter to possibly get your hands on this later on in this video, so stay tuned. So lots of you are wondering at this point and why I'm making an iPhone 13 video at this time when we've just had the release of the iPhone 12. Well, the truth is that Apple work on products years in the making, and it's fair to say that the iPhone 13 has been in the works for some time already. It is a known fact that Apple work on products for years. In fact, in the late Steve Jobs bibliography, he mentions that the iPad original was started in 2000, and that is 10 years before the actual first iPad release. In fact, it was thought of before the actual iPhone was an idea. Yet the iPhone got released first and the iPad came 3 years later. Also in 2013 with the first iPad Air, Tim Cook even said that the iPad Air was something that Steve, referencing to Steve Jobs, who had sadly passed away in 2011, was really proud of the iPad Air and sadly never got to see it released. So as you can see, Apple, like many other brands, work on designs and products a few or a couple of years before they even get released. Well, with that out of the way, let's start with the iPhone 13 display. Well, the good news I can tell you is that it's very likely we'll be getting a 120Hz display on at least 2 of the iPhone 13 models next year. It is most likely this will be the iPhone 13 Pro models that will get this type of display, and to be honest, that makes complete and utter sense. We have seen a leak from a Korean webpage called The Elec, what is saying that LG are going to be providing some OLED display panels for Apple for the iPhone 13 next year, and they will have the right technologies inside them to work with the rumoured A15 chipset inside the iPhone 13 whilst not draining on the battery, just like 5G does this year with the smaller batteries and the A14 chipset in the iPhone 12 models. Talking further about the iPhone 13 models, we have seen a leak from Ming-Chi Kuo, what is saying that next year we will get 4 iPhone 13 models just like the iPhone 12 models this year. And those 4 models will be exactly the same names as this year's, but with just a 13 instead. So the lineup will be the iPhone 13 mini, the iPhone 13 normal, the iPhone 13 Pro and the iPhone 13 Pro Max. We have also been told there will be no changes to the actual screen sizes and the main body shape of the phone, except for a few tweaks here and there that Apple like to do when they bring out a new design like they did with the iPhone 12 this year. So quickly then, that giveaway I mentioned earlier, to possibly get your hands on that iPhone 12 Pro in Pacific Blue, I would love to know from you right now if you're planning on getting the next iPhone and maybe you skipped the iPhone 12 this year. Let me know in the comments below. Also let me know if you're planning on getting a different phone like an Android phone, I'd love to know that as well. And when we get over 100,000 subscribers, I will be revealing who the winner is here on my channel. So make sure you have subscribed to this channel and hit that notification bell to find out if you'll be the lucky subscriber. So let's talk a bit more about those tweaks and changes to the design. It has been rumoured for a while that the iPhone 13 won't have a lightning port for wired charging or the ability to connect wired to a computer. Seeing that lapsed tweets mentioning here that there will only be a MagSafe or a smart connector charging isn't a surprise. It also builds off Apple's recent decision to stop shipping devices with charging bricks in order to reduce costs and electrical waste for themselves. Another leak we have heard for the current iPhone 13 prototype allegedly used a Touch ID sensor hidden beneath the display, with the active area covering the bottom half of the screen for easy access. The iPad Air 4 just introduced just last week, the Touch ID was on the new device and it was the first time a Touch ID button was added on a brand new design in ages. The new button is the actual power button on the side, and this allows you to use your finger to unlock the actual iPad. If this does come to be, I'm sure lots of fans will be welcoming this, as many Android phones feature this ability at the moment. Especially also at the moment that COVID-19 and wearing masks and the iPhone not always sure to unlock, or even setting up an alternative appearance not working all the time, a Touch ID button or a screen to have the ability to have Touch ID inside it might be a good call. The tweet also finally talks about the camera system to get a massive improvement in this leak, and that does sound really exciting, but to be honest it is quite vague to conclude what we'll actually be getting. We just saw the addition of a LIDAR sensor to be added to the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro Max, but perhaps it's time that Apple look to increasing its camera's resolutions beyond 12 megapixels with their bigger sensors inside the phone. Or we could finally see an upgrade to a bigger periscope optical zoom of 5 times for example, to catch up with Android phones. So for release date and price, I normally talk about this first in my video, but as you can see, as we're going to be getting loads of new features like a bigger battery, 120Hz, a camera upgrade, and loads of other bits and pieces, you can probably imagine now that the iPhone 13 will probably have a slight price increase. We expect all models to jump up by $50 to $100 for this. So expect, for example, the normal iPhone 13 to between $849 to $999 for the base model, compared to $799 at the moment for the iPhone 12. For release date, it has been a bit unsure for the iPhone 12 this year due to COVID. However, if the pandemic does die down for next year, we expect the iPhone 13 to come out in September time, like it has done in many other years for other iPhone releases. Or we might see the phone being released again in around mid-October time, just like it has for the iPhone 12 if the pandemic does conclude on. So next, for design wise, we're expecting not many huge changes, more like enhancements to the current iPhone 12 design. The iPhone 12 is the newest design or newest shape since the release of the iPhone 10 or iPhone X in 2017. Apple generally like to keep their same designs in their phones for at least 3 or 4 years, and as the iPhone 12 is the newest design, we can't really see there will be a huge design change for the next version of the iPhone. For iPhone 13 colours, we're expecting the same colours as the iPhone 12, however we may see another new colour introduced. Something that Apple seems to be doing every year now is introducing a new colour to their platter for all their new models. However, they may also take a colour out, just like what they did with the iPhone 11 Pro models. We did have the midnight green, that has been switched out this year to get the Pacific Blue. It is also worth noting that we're probably going to be getting 4 iPhones again. This will be the iPhone 13 mini, the iPhone 13 normal, an iPhone 13 Pro and an iPhone 13 Pro Max, and all 4 phones will have IP68 at 6 meters again for 30 mins. So this means chucking the phone into a 6 meter deep swimming pool if you can find one, or a clean lake on your vacation and you fancy diving down 6 meters within 30 minutes and rescuing it. In theory the phone should be, but you might not be yourself. So I have a few more details in my next video, including more information about the iPhone 13 camera setup and also the possibility if we will get a 4th camera lens on the back. But for now, like I said, it is very early days, but I'd love to know from you if you're excited about the iPhone 13 and will you be upgrading to one next year. Let me know in the comments below. Well guys, I will say it again, it is very early days, but if you have enjoyed watching this video, please do press the like button, and also at the same time as well, if you wanted the latest information on the iPhone 13 and also that giveaway, and also the latest on gaming news, tech news, reviews and comparisons, please do hit that subscribe button followed by the bell. Until next time guys, see ya!